We'll talk about mainly search loads. This is where the most or majority of carriers and freight dispatchers spend their time. My loads, then this is like private network. I have covered a little bit of private network, what it is, in how it works. My trucks, post truck, live support and tools. As I said, this is a dashboard. This is in this live training, I'll be mainly focusing on the user interface, obviously, and then search loads. Majority of the time, we'll be spending time on search loads, because you might know how to search loads, but hey, there are always some strategies, some tactics. I was talking to one of my friends. The way he uses load board, it's like totally different world. So people use that means they're pulling the loads that you never like. You can't pull those loads. Well, what you do is, hey, I will search by city, I'll search by states, maybe by zones, whatnot. But then there's a lot of combinations out there, and that's how people pulling those best paying loads. And obviously, it depends on what type of trailers you have. So, searching loads. But before we go there, as always, post your truck. If you are a carrier, if you are a freight dispatcher working for a carrier, please don't underestimate. Take this very seriously. It's very, very important. Post a truck, right? And you guys, it's very straightforward. When you click on post a truck, it's basically a truck profile. What type of equipment you have, flatbed, reefer. Let's say it's a reefer. What would be the length? It will be 53. The weight, hey, I'm taking 45,000. I'm going from, let's say, from Atlanta, Georgia. We go to, why don't we go to Houston? I love Houston. Houston, Texas. Date available. Usually what will happen when you post your trucks, you post for today or tomorrow. If you're looking for loads for today, you put today's date. If you're looking for loads for tomorrow, you put, for example, tomorrow. Let's do like the range. Maybe I'll be available today and tomorrow. Okay. So this is very important. Why is important? Because when you put the desired rate per mile, brokers will see that, hey, for your reefer, you're asking for, let's say, $3 per mile. Then if a broker looks for a truck that can take $2 per mile, then obviously this guy won't call you, won't bother you. And obviously it's a good thing, because you don't want to talk to them. The reason being is, hey, like I don't take cheap loads. Like I take, let's say, $3 per mile. That's what I'm looking for. Comments, very important. And again, these are for reason here, right? Comments. So you can say anything. Like if you have, let's say this is a, let me see. Let's do this, flatbed. Let's say if it's a flatbed, or let's say it's a step deck. You come up here and then say ramps available, for example. I do have ramps or tarps, or 8-foot tarp, 4-foot tarp. I have those. Let the broker know that you have chains, you have straps, you have everything and ready to go. And how would you like to contact? Like, broker will be obviously contacting with you. Like, do you prefer phone call or like, hey, email communication? For me, it's an email communication, so I can keep track of all of my communications. You can say, okay, it's a phone. Let them call me, and then you post the truck. Okay, then what will happen? Okay, then if we go to dashboard, then the broker comes in. He has a load that goes from, let's say, Greenville, South Carolina. It's about, let's say, 150, 180 miles away from Atlanta. And then it's a really awesome load that goes to, let's say, Austin, Texas. I know it's not directly from Atlanta to Houston, but it's an awesome load. And then what we'll do is he just go and start searching for a truck. Okay. So he will put, Atlanta, by default is 150-mile radius, and then equipment he will put, let's say, flatbed, and it's a full load or partial load. The length is 53 and whatever, and then this is the date, like I'm looking for today, and it will be searching. Like this is how the brokers search for a truck. Take it seriously, guys. A lot of people missing a lot of opportunities, leaving a lot of money on the table. The brokers come here and then they search for a truck. So if you guys agree on a load, obviously they will dispatch to you, and then you will take that load and deliver, and you get paid. Now, as I said, we'll be talking about more. We'll be, going into details like searching loads. This is basically the nucleus of this load board. This is how it functions. Searching loads. Dispatchers and carriers, they come up here and then come here when they log in, and they start searching. What I do, since I have more tools available to me, this is a DAT One Select. By the way, it's $180 per month. What I do is so if I have, I'll do this, and let me see how you guys looking at. Let me do this. Why don't I do this? There you go. So then what we'll do is what I'll do is I'm like, okay, so if I have a load from Atlanta to Houston, okay, then I'm just basically planning. So let me see if you guys see this US map. Yes, you guys are cool. Then what I'll do is, okay, if I'm a carrier, obviously I know how to manage my trucks. If I am a freight dispatcher, basically planning from Atlanta, okay, 150-mile radius. What I'll do, okay, should I go, if I go from Atlanta, go to Houston, what about, let's say, let me look for loads from Houston. So if I get the load for my truck, so he will leave the Atlanta, and then he will be coming down to Houston to deliver that load. While he's in transit, he's driving, I'll be looking for a load from Houston to Dallas. Okay, that's what I'll do. So Dallas, Texas. Then, as you can see, what I'm doing is I'm building a tri-haul. So I'm looking for Dallas. I might take from Houston to Oklahoma City, but again, I will be doing more search on, let me take this, there you go. I'll be looking at loads, for example, Oklahoma, Corpus Christi, Texas, looking at the loads, how many loads we have, the available, loads, the similar search results, whatnot, okay? Let's come back to this from Houston to Dallas. Then I might look for a load that goes to maybe Oklahoma, okay? And then I'll do Oklahoma City, okay? From Dallas, that means I pick a load from Atlanta, go to Houston, drop off, pick another load, go to directly Oklahoma City or maybe Dallas, okay? That's what I'll do. And then there's many, many reasons for this, the way I work. And then we'll talk about this. Now, I said, okay, if I go to Oklahoma City, should I come back to Atlanta? Should I come back to Houston, then go to Atlanta? What should I do? Then I might do something like, okay, why don't I come back to Houston? Okay, maybe I'll do, if there is a load that goes to San Antonio, for example, there are a lot of loads go from Oklahoma City to San Antonio, Texas. Then what I'll do, okay, I'll go to Nashville, Tennessee. Okay, if I go to Nashville, Tennessee, then from Nashville, Tennessee, I will go to Atlanta. Maybe that's what I'll do. When I was a carrier, I was looking for loads from Nashville, Tennessee to Savannah, Georgia, right? So Savannah, Georgia has a lot of loads. And then the reason, for this is because we have a port. Okay, so that's basically how I plan. And I said, okay, I'll go, from Atlanta to Houston, from Houston to Dallas, from Dallas to Oklahoma City, from Oklahoma City down to San Antonio. From San Antonio, I'll pick a load and go to Nashville, Tennessee. And from Nashville, Tennessee, I will go. Maybe I'll take two partials. I'll drop off one in Atlanta, Georgia, and then the other one in Savannah. And then obviously did a lot of loads that I can take, and I can come back to Houston if I wanted to. But, or let's say my driver says, hey, I want to go home, take a rest, whatever, I have some plans to do. Then you take a load and come back to Atlanta. So that's the plan. And I visually will see, and I will look at it. Okay, Atlanta, Houston, Dallas, Oklahoma City, San Antonio, Nashville, Tennessee, and then Savannah, Georgia. Then I'll come back to to the load board. As you can see, I already have Atlanta to Houston, and there is a trick. Before I do this, I search by zones. So right now we have about 25, a little over 25,000 loads. So then what I'll do, I'll come back and let me refresh real quick while it's refreshing. Let's say, there you go. Yeah, 25,000 loads. And I'll just, this is for, it's for research purposes. Let's say that way. I'm just looking at the loads, looking at the brokers, looking at the lanes. As I said, remember, I'm like looking also for the Savannah loads. I'm looking at what type of loads we have. They're well, this one for the RGN, but and I also have multiple, equipment type. I'll do a little bit of a research up here, and then I'll do a separate video. We'll go into details. Very important to research first. So first, what we did is we basically have the plan in mind. That's where we go. That's where our owner operator, or if I'm a carrier, that's where I want it to be, and what I'll do, and then come back and start searching for loads. First one is from Atlanta to Houston. Okay, you can put 150-mile radius, and also 150-mile deadhead, and this is the step deck. I'll put maybe 53, and load will be, the weight will be 45,000. Let me see. Let me change. Usually, what I do is just like for a week, and then I'll start searching. Let's do a search. Okay. So I have 6 results and 113 similar results. Then I'll do same thing, like from Atlanta. I mean, from Dallas to let's say from Dallas to Oklahoma. I mean, from Houston. Okay. So let's do this, and then we'll do Houston. From Houston, Texas. Remember, from Atlanta to Houston. From Houston to Dallas. Let's do a search, but obviously you will be changing the date. Okay, so I'm just basically looking at the loads. Okay, let's see. I'll do highest paying and see. Okay, we have my town, Texas, goes to Fort Worth. Okay, it's this is a 45,000. This is the mistake. This is the trick that brokers play. It's 450,000 pounds, and then people usually call them and say, "Hey, you have a mistake." And then, well, yeah, we know that, and the reason why we did that is we want you to call us. That's what it is. So almost $4 per mile, right? It's an awesome load. Now it picks up today, and as you can see, it's about 27 miles away from Houston. Now, Beaumont, Texas, can probably. Okay, cool. Well, this is 47,000. So this is $3 per mile. We can easily get maybe 1,100, 1,200 on this one. And that's how you basically plan, in advance. So I also have, let me see if I have a box truck owner operators or carriers also available just in case. Let me just close this. From Atlanta to Houston, from Houston to Dallas. Now, what was the... So we have from Atlanta to Houston, from Houston to Dallas. Now from Dallas to Oklahoma City. Now we're looking for a load. Let's do this. Dallas. Okay, Dallas, Texas. And we'll also do a lot of brokers posting loads. So this is a live feed. That's why we have a notification. Let's close this. Stop the notification. There you go. Let me see. We have 143 results. Okay, cool. Now, what we have, Atlanta to Houston, Houston to Dallas, Dallas to Oklahoma City. Now, what was the from Oklahoma City? We're coming back to, I think that was the San Antonio, Texas. Okay. So, Oklahoma, we go to San Antonio. Okay. There you go. So I'll search. Then what we have, let's come back. Okay, cool. Let's go. Then we'll do San Antonio. Then from San Antonio, we'll go to Nashville. Then I'll open a new search. Then we'll do San Antonio, Texas. We'll go to Nashville, Tennessee. Okay. Nashville, Tennessee. And again, equipment, I have flatbed. So let's do search just to see. Okay, there are two results. Then from Nashville, we are going to Savannah, Georgia. Okay, Nashville. Okay, Nashville, Tennessee. We're going to Savannah, Georgia. That will be a flatbed. Okay, let's do search. Okay, how that looks. Okay, let's take a look. Okay. So now we got it. From then, obviously, you decide from Savannah, and I'll do real quick search. Do a Savannah to see. Oops. Savannah, Georgia. We go to. I had a lot of good loads that goes to El Paso, Texas. Okay, El Paso, Texas. Okay, and we'll do flatbed. We moved a lot of forklift. Okay, let's do this. Let's search and see how that looks. Okay, we have from, okay, not exact searches, I mean results, but we have 29 similar results from South Carolina, Charleston, South Carolina, Odessa, Texas. Okay, okay, why don't I then go back to Atlanta? Oops. Okay, Atlanta, Georgia. Let's do search. And let's see what happens. Okay, cool. Okay. So I'll take maybe. Okay. In Georgia, it pays about, cool, this one a little over. So it's with TARP, but it's 24,000. There you go. So once you have this, as I said, we come back up here. Now I see that, hey, I'm going from, like, my truck's located in Atlanta. I go from Atlanta to Houston, from Houston to Dallas. Then obviously from Dallas, I'm going to Oklahoma City. From Oklahoma City, then I will come back to San Antonio. I'll pick a load from San Antonio, go to Nashville, Tennessee. Well, it can change. You could go to Louisville, Kentucky, for example, or Cincinnati, Ohio, or Columbus, Ohio, right? Then you can go to Savannah. The reason why I say Savannah is because the port. That's why. So from Louisville, Kentucky, you can go to Charlotte, North Carolina. There's a lot of loads, specifically partial loads. So then when you see this, then you come back to the load board. Now you have from Atlanta, you see, let me close this by zones, get from Atlanta to Houston, you see these loads, and also you have notification, turn on, and then from Houston to Dallas, Dallas, Oklahoma, Oklahoma to San Antonio, then it goes to San Antonio to Nashville, from Nashville to Savannah, and from Savannah to Atlanta. So that's how I look for loads. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Guys, planning first, right? Then I'll go to a war, basically looking for, loads. That's how I would look for, loads.